Manchester United 1-0 against Celta Vigo in Spain. An excellent performance, but who was Manchester United's player of the match? These are our player ratings for the game itself. Let's start off in goal with Sergio Romero. Everybody probably wanted to see David De Gea start tonight, but I felt we had dominant possession in that game. But when he was called upon, he was there. His distribution out of the box with his hat, with his throwing and his kicking was excellent. So he was superb at the back, just like Matteo Darmian was. Now, this is a player who's been quietly impressing me in the last few performances. I think it started with Anderlecht away at left back. Darmian since then really has, when he's been called upon by Jose Mourinho, he's delivered. You know, in the same vein as Luke Shaw has been struggling, I feel Darmian's been on the upward curve. And I feel Darmian's earned some serious stripes from Mourinho in his last few performances. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Exact same as I'm giving Daley Blind and Eric Bailly. Talk about them together because they were such a good partnership tonight. When one went forward, the other sat deep. By his timing and his reading of the game out of possession is natural. He's meant to be a defender. And you can see that in how he plays. You know, he's just such a superb, cultured defender to watch. He finds defending easy. I don't even know if he was 100% fit for today. And Daley Blind alongside him, you know, he's a makeshift centre-back of sorts, but whenever he plays really, really well, so you can't really say much bad against him. Burnley, Man City away, and Celta Vigo away. 3 performances, I feel that Daley Blind's earned some serious stripes. Well done. Antonio Valencia, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Don't think he was as influential as those 3, but he was good again. Everybody in this team was good. Well, maybe apart from 1 or 2 players, but I think Valencia was okay, just not as great as the other defenders. Let me know who you think was our best defender on the day. Midfield, Ander Herrera had quite a quiet game, and I'm struggling to think of the rating to give him. I'm probably going to give him a 6. Ander Herrera played in a deep midfield role. He was tasked with doing something different today. He was basically tasked with, from what I can see, not going over that halfway line, breaking the play up whenever Celta Vigo came forward, and feeding the ball to Pogba or Lingard or Mkhitaryan as quickly as he possibly could. And he was cutting through the lines in the first half. His balls down to Valencia on the right-hand side was a real outlet. But it wasn't as influential as Herrera has been this season. And I expected him to have a real barnstormer back in Spain, because he's back in Spain. He would have been buzzing for it. But I think he still played okay, so I'll give him a 6 out of 10. On the other hand, Marouane Fellaini, who gets a 5 out of 10, not simply because he got a yellow card, which I'm not even sure it was a yellow card, but Fellaini felt like a passenger for me today. Mourinho used him in the right position. He played Herrera deep, played Fellaini a little bit more advanced so he can be in the attacking third. That's where Fellaini is a better footballer, when you don't have to rely on him defensively. But he was a passenger. He was stuck between the attack and the defence. He didn't know whether to attack more or defend more. And because of that, he kept getting left in no man's land. And Celta Vigo were just passing him by like he wasn't even there, and he may as well not have been. Not a good performance at all, and it's not going to help his cause among United fans, a lot of United fans who are pissed off every time he plays. Paul Pogba, on the other hand, 9 out of 10. Boy, have we missed Paul Pogba. Jeez. I mean, if it wasn't obvious enough before tonight's performance shows just how the fluidity of Manchester United's football is dependent on whether Paul Pogba is playing and playing on form or not. His passing, his movement, his dropping deep, he knew when to run forward, knew when to break the lines. His reading in the game was excellent. His passing range was there. He just didn't get the assists or the goals. He didn't have that many shots. And Mkhitaryan missed a blinding chance that he put him through. But Pogba was the heartbeat of Manchester United's football today. He was the reason we were dominating this Celta Vigo team. Without him in that team, we would have skipped midfield too often. It would have gone up to Rashford and Lingard and Mkhitaryan too quickly. Celta Vigo would have won the ball back and we would have been sat back defending too often. But with Pogba in the team, Man United controlled it. Welcome back, Paul. Now, I'm going for Mkhitaryan next. I think Mkhitaryan, I'll probably give him a 6, 6.5. I feel Mkhitaryan, his off-the-ball movement was good today, and his actual link-up play with Lingard and Rashford was excellent, but he's in that team as an attacker, and his finishing wasn't good enough today. His chance creation was okay, but that chance, I'm being maybe a bit harsh by talking about that chance a little bit too much, but Mkhitaryan, he is the real deal, and he has been our heartbeat in these Europa League games, but he could have scored today, he didn't. Luckily, Rashford came up with the goods towards the end. And the same goes for Jesse Lingard. He had a number of chances, a number of gilt-edged chances. And I'm still a big advocate of Lingard. I see the strengths he brings and I see why he's an asset to this team. but his finishing has got to improve. We've been saying that since the start of the year, since last year. Hasn't really improved that much. So Jesse, if you want to be in this team as regularly next year as you have been this year, without getting superseded by a more clinical finisher, you've got to improve your finishing, man. It's as simple as that. But obviously save the best till last. Rashford, give him a 9, even maybe a 9.5 out of 10. Rashford was sensational, and I'm not just talking about the fact that he scored a wonder free kick. Rashford was running the lines. He was exhausting this Celta Vigo defence. He was always making runs which Lingard and Mkhitaryan were looking for. It was a wonderful performance from a number 9 who is only 19, playing in his first European Cup semi-final, but you wouldn't have known it. Ice cool from him, and that free kick was nothing short of sensational. The bend, the positioning, the confidence. At a time when Manchester United was struggling in front of goal, he stood up and he made himself count. And Mourinho will love that. I loved it. An academy graduate scoring the winner in a European Cup semi-final is the United way. It's absolutely well done to you, Rashford. I'm giving you my man of the match, but who was yours? Leave in the comments. And for the 2 subs, was it Young and Martial who came on? Maybe missed one at the end there, but I don't think I did. I'm going to give them both a 6. They were brought on to do a job, and they did a job. They were brought on to basically see the game out in their own variety of ways. That's exactly what they did. But Manchester United today, a very professional, very comfortable, very assured performance. A 1-0 lead going to Old Trafford now. That's what we wanted to see. Could have been more than 1. That's how many chances we had. But the main thing is we kept a clean sheet and we scored an away goal. Advantage United going back to Old Trafford next week. It's Arsenal up next. Then it's Celta Vigo, followed by White Hart Lane, Spurs 3 days later. The games are continuing coming thick and fast for United. And Rashford went off with an injury and so did Young. Fingers crossed we can cope with it, but tonight we certainly did. And so did the fans. Fans are in great voice on both sides. Fair play to them. Great atmosphere. And the 1-0 win means Man United got 1 foot in the final and 1 foot on that plane to Stockholm. Let me know who your man of the match was in that game in the comments below as always. Until next time, take it easy.